Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. So basically, Linux and Unix is actually Unix is a broad term, okay, and Unix, there are many Unix flavors that come into when we talk about, Linux is one of the flavor of Unix. In the Unix world, um, there is HP Unix, there is IBM AX, there is different versions of Linux and Ubuntu, CentOS, Red Hat, and
Okay.
FreeBSD, uh, Mandrake. So there are many versions of Unix. It's like you can think in Windows world you have Windows 98, Windows 9, 2000, 2003, 2000 uh,
8.
8, 2012, like that, right? So the Unix is just we call when I say Unix, it is not any specific operating
Okay.
system. Yeah, it's
Okay.
not a Linux or it's not a AX, or I'm not referring to any of the uh, operating systems. I'm just referring to, it's a generalized term. Unix is an operating system. It's generalized, but there is nothing called a Unix operating system. Either it is HP Unix or IBM AX or Solaris Unix or FreeBSD or Linux. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So Unix is an operating system. A set of programs acts as a link between computer and users. So since you are already familiar with Windows, it's just, I don't have to say what is the operating system is all about. So
Yeah.
yeah, so basically it is going to operating system is a program which will link your computer and computer hardware, and you manage your computer hardware through set of commands, user commands, and administrative commands. And
Okay.
so these computer programs, okay, that allocate system resources and coordinate all details of the computer internals, we call it as operating system or the kernel. See, you don't hear this word kernel in Windows, because this is specific to Unix. Any Unix you take, whether it is IBM or HP or AX or anything, it's referred as kernel. So kernel is the main, it's a heart of Unix operating systems. Just one second.
Sure.
So basically, it coordinates with the allocates the system resources and coordinate with all other computer internals. And users will communicate with the kernel through a program called shell. Kernel interacts with your operating system directly, and you interact with the kernel through shell. Okay, shell is a command line interpret. It translates the command that you entered by the user and converts them into language understood by the kernel. So kernel is a low level language that it understood. Okay, you can think of something like assembly language, or very low level language, where whatever commands that you give, right? So it won't be understood. So the shell is makes it understand the kernel. So you see, the low level language, it's very difficult for us to write and understand, right? So the high level language such as a shell, so this is like a plain English, so where we can enter these commands uh, to interact with the kernel. So kernel in turn, which interacts with your computer hardware. So three components: one is kernel, the low level, and shell is high level, and the kernel interacts with your hardware and shell interacts with your kernel. So Unix was originally developed by in 1969 by AT&T employees Dennis Ritchie. You might have heard about this
Yeah. He's the one who invented C language,
C
right?
language, yeah. And
Yeah.
this is completely, Unix is written in C. And Ken Thompson and Douglas McIrie and Joe Osana at Bell Labs. Okay.
So I have this question. Sorry to interrupt here. Suppose we get a hardware, right? So the hardware has DIMMs, it has memory cards, it has NIC interfaces, and it has a complete set of hardware. So when you say kernel is the one that controls all the set of hardwares there.
Exactly.
Okay, good.
Yep.
All right.
So there are many variants of Unix variants available. So Solaris Unix, IBM AX, HP Unix, and BSD. Just few examples. And Linux is very popular. The Unix flavor, that is, the most of the Linux versions are freely available. So if you're new to Unix, I don't suggest you to learn Solaris or AX or HP Unix or BSD. Just only
Okay.
learn Linux because Linux is very popular. It's a distributed client server operating system, and it's open source and it's freely available, and it can run on any distributed systems, and there is no need to have a proprietary hardware. But for Sun Solaris, you need um, special hardware. Okay, most of the Sun Solaris machines require, but there is a x86 version also is available. But this Sun Solaris requires a proprietary hardware. IBM AX also require a proprietary hardware, and HP Unix also require a proprietary. BSD does not require, but BSD is not as popular as Linux because you know a lot of it's a community, open community we have for Linux, and Solaris is history. Okay, and Sun Microsystem bought sorry Oracle bought Sun Microsystem, and from next year onwards there won't be any Solaris operating system, and Oracle is not going to release any more new versions of Solaris, and Solaris is history. And don't
Okay.
even don't even try to learn Solaris, and it's absolutely no use now.
Okay. Okay.
So Linux is the way to go, and it is used in almost every industry. And Red Hat, some of the popular Linux versions are Red Hat. If you are looking for enterprise editions, enterprise versions, so Red Hat is popular among enterprises. And if you're looking for SUSE Linux, also popular among enterprises. And some of the community editions like CentOS, Ubuntu, and there are a few more. Okay, but Red Hat, SUSE, Ubuntu, and CentOS are very popular. And if you are using Amazon Web Services, and we will work mostly with Amazon Linux, which is based on Red Hat Linux only.
Yeah, even in our environment, most of the machines are Red Hat 6. I think we are moving to 7 as well.
Okay, yeah. So it's all Red Hat mostly, or SUSE.
Tuesday, yeah. Yeah, I've seen a couple of CentOS as well in our
Yeah,
environment.
yeah.
Yeah.
CentOS is a community edition of Red Hat only. CentOS is owned by Red Hat, and actually, there is no license cost for CentOS. It's freely available. But more or less, the commands for CentOS and Red Hat Linux are same. The way it operates, everything is same, except the Red Hat has the support license that you have to buy, and if you are support SLA and all those things, some additional enterprise add-ons are there. Okay, so just
Right.
like any operating system, multiple users, multiple people can use the Unix computer at the same time, and it is called a multi-user. Even Windows is also multi-user, and multiple
Right.
programs that you can run simultaneously. So we call it as multitasking environment. So this is the architecture of Unix. As you can see, the kernel interacts with your hardware. Okay, your as you said, NIC card, dev, storage, and all those things. But how do
Right.
you interact uh, uh, from Unix operating system to hardware is through shell. Shell actually interprets the command what kernel can understand, and kernel is a low level language which directly connects with your hardware. And on top of it, you have
Sorry. sorry to interrupt. So, what exactly is kernel? Is it
See,
a hardware or is it just a program that
it's a
is embedded?
program.
I mean, like,
So it's a
okay,
program, it's a software, okay? It's a software which
okay,
is sitting on your operating system. It gets installed as part of your operating system, and it
okay,
interacts, yeah, it interacts with
got
your hardware and most of the tasks like memory management, task scheduling, and file management,
got you, got
okay?
you. Okay,
And you have shell commands which are, C shell, corn shell, bash shell, pg, which, and this is a couple of commands that are shell commands that we have. And on top of it you have application programs which would be running dbms, ftp, mail servers or ldap servers such as. So the
okay,
kernel, as I said, it's a heart of your operating system, interacts with your hardware. Shell is a utility that processes your request. When you type a command at the terminal, the shell interprets the command and calls the program that you wanted. Okay, and there are different type of shells that you have. Okay, so when I say ls, right, and it interprets the command and calls the program ls, listing the objectives, listing the directories. Okay,
okay,
and so there are different type of shells available. C shell, bond shell, corn shell are the most famous shells that we have. And other utilities, commands and utilities that are we have almost 200 plus utilities that we have. Just copy, move, cat, grab, etc. And there also you can also install some third-party software on it, and third-party software also comes with their own set of commands. And files
okay,
and directories are organized, all the data is organized into files and directory, just like Windows. And
okay,
these files are organized into directory, and these directories are further organized into a tree structure called file system. In
okay,
Windows we call it as C drive, D drive, E drive, F drive, right? So here we have file
right,
system, okay, root file system, okay, dev file system, opt file system, okay. So this is called
okay,
file system here. We don't call it as drive, but we call it as file system. Okay, so
okay,
when you boot up your computer, okay, which is having a, Unix operating system installed, it prompts you for the login. Okay, I'm not sure if you ever logged into a Linux machine, but when you log in, when you turn on the machine, it prompts you with a login. Okay, then login there where you have to enter user ID and password, and then you will get into user ID. You will get into Amazon. You will get into this Linux once. Okay, so here is the login and this is password that you enter. So just to show you, so before we get in there, to get in there the Unix side, so let me tell you, there is something called the what is the capacity of your the desktop or laptop that you are going to use or practice.
uh,
Configuration.
to look into that. So MacBook Air. Just-
You have a MacBook.
yeah, yeah, it's 4 GB, 4 GB RAM. Yeah, I have a MacBook Air. It's 4 GB RAM.
Okay, so you can install VirtualBox for Mac. VirtualBox
Okay,
is it's a virtualization hypervisor,
okay.
uh, and
Okay.
basically it is going to you can install multiple operating systems on your MacBook, and
So you want me to do it right now? I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, you can do it right now. So go to virtualbox.org, and if you want to share your screen, I can help you with that.
yeah, become presenter, please download a small extension. Hello?
I just made you presenter. Yeah. Okay. If you okay, go
Are
ahead.
you able to
I'm able to
see the
see your
screen?
desktop. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you can download it.
Sorry.
That would be your OS X.
OS X host?
Yes. Yeah. OS X. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Go to Windows host. Yeah. OS X host.
It's the same thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. OS X host.
Okay. If you click here,
Double click on the icon. The first one. Continue.
so whenever I install a Windows operating system, I have an interface wherein I type my username, I mean the local username and password, and log into the box first up. So is that I mean, is that the same way for Unix or using? I think you use SSH, right?
You can use SSH. You can also directly if you are in front of you use SSH because you're trying to access that computer remotely. The SSH is like a RDP. Okay, if you are in front of the computer, you don't need to do SSH. You can directly get into the computer.
Okay, okay.
So
So if I want to remotely log into the box, then I use SSH.
SSH, yes. If we don't use RDP, right? If I am actually in front of the server, why would I RDP to machine?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
True.
close. Yeah, just open that folder. Down. Wait, no.
This one.
Uh, where did it get installed? Yeah, open that. Open that. The icon on the right hand side, next to trash. Bottom. Taskbar. The next to trash. Towards on right side. Towards your right side. Yeah.
This one.
Next to that. Yeah. This is what it is. Yeah. Open the second. Oh, okay, okay. No. That's okay. Just open the one, the middle one. Yeah.
This one?
No. Next to that, middle one. Yeah. Open that. No. I'm saying the middle one. Middle one.
This one. This is a virtual
Virtual
machine.
box. Yeah. Open that. Click that, and you see the second option, right?
Applications.
Applications. Click on applications and open the virtual box there. The very first
Oh,
on the top. On the top. Yeah.
yeah, I
Just
did. I
yeah.
did.
Yeah. So now we are going to create a uh, operating system. Okay, we're going to install
Okay.
operating system. Just click on new and just
Right.
type here, just for example, let's say CentOS. Just type CentOS.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and type in the click on type. Here you have Linux, Solaris, BSD, IBM, Mac, and other. Okay, so you also have
Right.
Windows. So the Linux is the one that we wanted. So that's fine. Take the default, which is Linux. And here different versions that are available. So you can install Linux 2.2, which is a generic version, and you can see different versions, different type of Linuxes that are available.
Okay.
Debian,
Okay.
OpenSUSE, Fedora, Gentoo, Mandriva, Red Hat, Turbo Linux, Ubuntu,
So,
and
so
Oracle.
basically, you're creating VM.
We're creating
That's it.
operating system.
Yeah. Okay. Virtual machine. Yeah. Gotcha.
We are creating a virtual machine. So you just select other Linux. Is it a 64-bit or 32-bit?
I think it's 64. Let me. Uh,
Usually, I think Mac is 64.
64. Yeah. Yeah.
So unless it is very old laptop, otherwise it's a
No. It's. I think it's a 64 bit. Okay. Let's continue.
continue. Okay, how much memory that you want to allocate? For now you can keep it 1 GB. That's good enough. You just have only 4 GB total, so 1 GB let's allocate. That's good enough. And create a new virtual hard disk. So since it is the first time that we are going to create, so we'll create a new virtual hard disk and click on create. Yeah, take the default options. Next, click on X. Yes, continue. Dynamically allocated. That's fine. Take default.
Just create.
Just give some additional space. Drag your the button. Right now it shows 8 GB. So make it some 20 GB like that. Huh.
Is this the
Now
drive
that's
on
it.
which the system is getting installed? The C drive, basically on Windows.
Yeah. It's going to get installed on this drive. So we are creating a new drive and that virtual drive, and we are creating a virtual machine for this operating system. Click on create.
That
Create. Yeah. So right now it's powered off. The status shows powered off, and you need to have the image, operating system image, or ISO image that you need to download.
correct. Correct. Yep.
So go to CentOS and you can download it. Just type CentOS 64-bit or
Oh,
just CentOS download.
just
Google.
minimize the screen. It's blank right now. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
it is. It's blank now. Go to Google and just search for it. I think you're.
Oops. Yeah. Okay, so what should I search here? CentOS.
CentOS download.
The first one here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Download CentOS.
Yeah. That's where it is. The first one, the upper portion, the first one.
This one.
One
Oh,
second, one second, one second. So, um, 8386. Just go back. Uh, go back. Which link you clicked? The first link.
download CentOS.
The first link. Yeah, click that. Okay.
Okay.
Just click on DVD ISO.
Now I have a few options here.
Uh, so one second. This is just basically different mirrors that are available. You can pick up any one. So you can pick up the first one. Just click on the first one. I think it's getting downloaded.
Yeah.
Cancel it. Cancel it. It's about 4.2 GB on the bottom that you can see.
Right. Right.
Yeah, it's about 16 minutes left. Okay, so while it is getting downloaded, so we can just go through some theory. And what you have to do is once, so we can, I don't think it's going to get finished in another half an hour as per the go to settings. Couple of things I will show you here in the virtual box that you need to be get familiar with virtual box. How to just close this window, virtual box window that you can close. Go to the program, virtual box program. Yeah, it's
You
already there at the bottom
close everything.
taskbar. Yeah,
This.
yeah, you just close everything at the bottom. You have that. Yeah, here click on settings.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is
Yep.
basically um, the name of the machine and then the type of the machine, and go to system. Okay, how much memory that you want to allocate. So suppose you want to change the memory, then you can change it here. Okay, in the system. And if you think this the system is slow, then you can change the memory and go to display.
I think we have to change the boot order. The boot order has to be hard disk first, right?
See, first time it is required your ISO. That should be fine. If uh, first time it will pick it up from the DVD ISO. So there is,
Oh, we have to map it. Okay, okay, okay. Gotcha.
if it is not there, then it will skip to hard disk. No problem. There is nothing need to be changed here. Go to processor if you want to change, but I think you have only one processor.
Yeah,
So
it's the same for a VM. I mean, you go to edit settings, you can change
yes,
all these things.
exactly. Yeah, same for VM, similar to VM.
Yeah.
And display, there's nothing that we do here, not required. And storage, here the center is VDI. You see that on the left hand side.
Right.
So that's your hard disk, virtual hard disk that you have created, and the location of virtual hard disk, as you can see, the users are with folder.
I have a question. So whenever you create a virtual machine, uh, I mean, I mean, whenever we do a Windows, it creates a VMX and VMDKs. It's the same here.
Yes, yes, it's VMDK. So at the time of installation, the virtual machine installation, you can select the type of hard disk that you wanted. VDI is VirtualBox image type, and
Okay.
VMD is that's you can also create VDI type or VMDK.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, and so go to network. Here the adapter is NAT, okay, which is, so that means basically you can have internet access from your host machine. Okay, so you will be
Okay.
able to get internet access. Click on adapter 2 if you want to add additional adapter uh, on the left hand side, on the right hand side. Yeah, if you enable adapter, and if you want to add, yeah, click on that, click that drop down. If you want to add any of those, different type of networks, bridged network, internal host only network,
But
so
it's not
usually
available. We have.
not required, so one adapter is good enough. Okay,
Mhm.
so disable that second adapter, we'll see.
Usually, when we create a VM or we put it on a VLAN. So
Yeah, 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 and go to shared interface, shared folders.
okay.
Okay, if you want to access your folders, add your machine, host machine folders here, you want to access them, you can mount them here, so that from your virtual machine you will be able to access the host machine folders.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
and user interface, go to user interface.
Yep.
um, I think this we don't that's okay. You can press OK or cancel, we haven't changed anything. And if you want to create one more operating system, just click on new and then
Yeah.
the same steps. Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
And so once the, yeah, once
So
the,
basically, what you're doing, we have a piece of hardware. You have installed a Hyper-V, like a VMware.
yeah,
It's VirtualBox,
yeah,
and then you are creating virtual machines on top of that.
exactly.
Okay.
So you can
So
use
this
VMware
computer.
Workstation or VirtualBox. I feel VirtualBox is much more better than VMware Workstation. See, that's my personal choice. If you're
Okay.
comfortable using VMware Workstation, you can also use VMware Workstation. It's up to you. So,
Okay.
and so once it is downloaded, and click on start, just go ahead and click on start, no problem. Okay, so right now it's looking for the optical disk, which is your bootable disk. So, and right now it's empty, so just click on the folder on the right hand side, the folder icon. I believe it's getting stored in your downloads folder. Go to
Right.
downloads, go to downloads folder. So this is where you will have your all files. Select all files, no problem. Uh, all files. See, you see unconfirmed download. I believe that is the one. CentOS.
Yeah, that's
Right.
correct. Correct.
I think that's the one. You select that file once it completes,
Okay.
and
Sure.
start the installation process. Okay. I
Okay.
will show on my machine so that you can also do it exactly when it is ready.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Okay.
Okay. So this is how mine is also looks similar to you, and uh, I'll just new.
So am I viewing your screen right now?
I think I have to um, no. So You able to see now?
Yeah, yeah, I'm able to see it now.
Okay. So this is my virtual machine. So virtual box is exactly looks same like yours.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. So click on new, and I'm going to call this as CentOS
Mm-hmm.
and Linux Red Hat 64-bit. Next, I want to allocate something around 2 GB. I have 16 GB, so I can go for 2 GB.
Okay.
Next, and create a virtual hard disk. Okay, I'm going to say this is my virtual hard disk. Next, create. See here, you can choose the type of hard disk: VMDK, virtual machine disk, virtual hard disk, and virtual box disk image. This is virtual box disk image, and
But if I'm doing on a VM, then it has to be a VMDK, right?
yeah, VMDK.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Okay. Because when you want this machine to be compatible with your virtual machines or VMware, so you can choose this. So you can simply just take this VMDK file and then copy it there, and then you can use it. There is no need of a conversion process. So
Okay.
you can directly just choose this if you wanted. So but that's okay. It's up to you. And if you're using a Hyper-V, so you can choose VHD. And if you're using a VMware, you can choose VMDK.
Got it.
So,
Okay.
yeah, next. And dynamically allocated. So the hard disk file will only use the space. Uh, uh, so fixed it dynamically, basically, as the name says, it will grow if requires. Fixed means it will stay the
So
whatever the size
basically,
that you.
provision,
Yeah,
thin provision this.
yeah, yeah. And I'm going to call this as CentOS. I'll just allocate about 20 GB.
Okay.
Create.
I'm trying to visualize it using Windows and VMware background so that it's easy for me.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, sure. And click on Start. Select that, and it'll ask for the startup disk. Okay, so right now yours was empty, and choose the file. Mine was, it's CentOS. Already I have downloaded. It's about 8 GB. So it's CentOS 7. Open, start. And I'm just going to maximize it. Whether you want to test the media and install it, or just install CentOS. I think I should be okay. I will directly install CentOS. I don't need to test it.
Mhm.
Select the first option.
Now once you are installing the OS, first the kernel comes up,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, kernel comes up.
So where does the shell come into picture? Like, is it a utility that you have to install on a desktop?
No, it's all installed automatically. There is nothing that you have to do it. Okay,
Oh, okay, okay. Oh,
it's part of
shell is nothing.
it's
Okay, I
part of
got it.
it's part of your operating system only.
Okay, okay, got you.
So here select language
Right.
and date and time according to your time zone. You set I'm in India, so select Asia and installation destination. Okay, uh, so automatically partition, or you want to configure by yourself partitioning. So you can choose automatic partitioning. So select the automatic partitioning and press done. And network and host name, so if you want to give any host name, you can give that. Otherwise it will be localhost.local domain. I'm going to call it as CentOS dot domain. Okay, apply. And Ethernet
Host,
connected.
host. nothing but the name of the system, right? Name of
Yeah,
the
name of
VM.
the system. Name of the system. That's all. Okay. So Ethernet, I've selected Ethernet, and make sure you turn on. Otherwise, you will not, uh, bring it
Oh
up.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Done. And software selection, you want just a minimal install will install only the uh, command line interface. But if you select server with GUI, and the GUI also will get installed. Okay. And you can install minimum install compute node infrastructure, file and print server, basic server, genome desktop. Okay. And KDE workspaces. And so we can select server with GUI. And some of the utilities that we can select, KDE, Java. Okay. Basic development tools, compatible libraries.
So software selection in the sense like what kind of software you want to
Like
put on.
email software, FTP software, or LDAP software, or load balancer. See, this is a server, right? So
Correct.
just like Windows roles and roles that you add, right, on Windows Server.
Okay, okay, okay.
So
Uh-huh.
you want to make it a web server, you add a role. You want to create any other role, domain controller role, you add a role. So rather
Correct.
than, so this is a, while installing, if you want to make this server as a backup server, you can select the backup server. Or if you want to
So
install it,
after the installation, like it's like Windows, we install the OS, and after the OS and everything is installed, we select the, I mean, we configure the files and I mean the roles and
you,
services
you can
accordingly.
also do it later.
Oh, okay, okay.
So but anyway, it's fine. So suppose you want to install only the desktop, not the server, only desktop that you want to install. So you can select the desktop. If you want to install the server, so you can select the server. Okay. So I'll select the server with GUI, and KDE Java platform, and some monitoring utilities, etc. And if you want to install MariaDB at the same time here, and you can also install Postgres SQL Server and Maria database server at the time of here itself. Done.
What is this Maria?
Huh?
You said something about the Maria DB.
Yeah. I believe you asked for Maria, right? Did you?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. So MariaDB is one kind of database. It's one kind of relational database, just like Microsoft SQL Server or Oracle. It's open source.
Your voice is breaking up.
My voice is breaking up. I don't know. Um, Let me. Can you hear me now, or it's still breaking up?
Oh, yeah, now it's fine.
Okay. So MariaDB is one kind of database. It's a relational database where mostly open source. It's like SQL Server, Microsoft SQL Server, Oracle databases, open source.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Gotcha.
And just click on Begin installation,
Hmm.
and you have to set the root password.
Okay. So the root password, it's nothing but the local admin password.
Admin password, local administrator password, exactly. And if you want to create any user, you can also create here itself. And you want to make user as this, I'm going to create a user called Praveen, and I'll make him as administrator. I'm not specifying any password for that person. And if you want to give a password, you can give a password. So it's getting started. The installation is started.
I think my download is complete, I believe.
Okay. Your download is complete. Yeah, in that case, you can share your screen. See, right now, I am in this CentOS, right? My cursor is in the CentOS. Anytime you want to come out from this cursor, cursor is not coming to my host machine. So you just press
Control out.
right control, right
Oh,
side. As you can see here, the bottom, right control will switch you to the host.
oh, right control. Okay. In VMware,
See,
it's control out. Okay.
yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Okay, let me share, give you permission to share your screen.
Sure.
Yeah, you can present it now. Just power on, turn on. Okay, that's fine.
Bootable media. You got to attach that ISO file.
If it is, did you attach it? No.
No.
Okay, just wait. It may ask you. No, that's okay. That's okay. Cancel it. No bootable. Not found. System halted. Yeah, power off and power it on.
So can we attach it right now before booting up? I mean,
Yeah, you can do that also. Go
where?
to storage. Storage. CentOS here. Click that. What options do you see? Add a new storage controller. Uh, Go to controller. Empty. And yeah, live. Just cancel it. Cancel it. And click on start options. The drop down. Normal start. Normal.
Yeah. Oh, we have to press F12.
Okay, are you getting that F12 options? You press it if you forget that F12 options. Mine will automatically pick up the bootable disk first. Just immediately press F12. F12.
F12.
It's missed. Can you give me control?
Yeah, sure.
I just requested for control. I'm going to request you for control. I just requested.
Oh, I didn't. I don't see anything here.
Uh, So can you? I've sent a request for. I've made you presenter.
But how can I pass you the control here?
Just be there only. Be there only. I'm requesting for control. Um, you should have received a uh, control request. Okay, never mind. Just you. Uh, so go to your virtual box.
Okay.
One second. Just try F12 immediately.
How do you come out of this? Left control. What is left control here? Hello?
Okay, just 1 second. 1 second, please. 1 second.
Sure.
Yeah, Arvind, just 1 second. Just give me about 2 minutes. I'll be back.
Sure. Bah. Can go back to Windows mode.
Yeah, Arvind.
Yeah. Uh,
No luck?
no, I'm trying, but yes, install.
Okay, so I mean, give it a try, and so we can certainly look at it tomorrow.